Hey guys, what's going on guys? New 5-star character Childe has been on Genshin for almost a week, and he's really unique to play and so it's very hard to master as well. Today I want to do a quick demonstration and showcase about with this really strong infinite elemental burst chaining team available for Childe. I'll be posting more Childe guide tips and tricks as well as a team composition showcase, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't, and let's get right into it. We have a lot to uncover today, so make sure you fasten your seatbelt. The description is going to contain the timestamp for the topic, so feel free to check that out and skip ahead. The first topic we're going to go over is going to be a quick overview of the team, who is contained in the team members, who is some potential replacement or a variant. Then we're going to quickly talk about the strength of the team and when you should be using this team in order for it to perform the best. We follow that up by a very quick overview gameplay of this team function when it's at the best scenario above. Then we're going to talk about the combo of the team, how you should be playing it to make sure you're utilizing all of your team member core, and how to make sure that it's functioning properly. Finally, we're going to end off with why this team works and what you need to build in order to properly make this team function. The core member of the team is going to consist of Venti, Bennet, Mona, and finally Childe. You can replace a couple characters if you don't have them, or if you just prefer another characters, such as replacing the Bennet with Jean. Although Bennet is really strong because he's providing the fire reaction and the attack buff. Or you can replace the Mona with Xingqiu, and that'll work as well. However, Venti and Childe are really core member, and so you want to look for these two members. The powerhouse here is actually going to be the Venti Ascension 4 because he's able to provide energy to the entire team. The strength of the team is going to be spamming your elemental burst skill, and since they're all AoE, it worked really well against room with a lot of enemies, such as the floor 10, room 2 with the Hillitrus, the room 1 with the slimes, or even on the floor 9, room 1 with the slimes, or room 2 with the raiders. It's going to be really strong. I want to do a very quick showcase on floor 9 chamber 1 abyss to demonstrate how this team composition works. We're gonna start the room with the 4 elemental bursts in our team composition. So the Venti, followed by the Bennet, followed by the Mona, and followed by the Childe elemental burst skill. While we're waiting for the cooldown to come up, we're gonna enter melee stance on our Childe to smack them a bit, doing the sustained DPS that Childe has to offer. And then notice once the elemental burst come up, we're gonna continue it with the chain on our second cycle, following starting with the Venti, following up by Bennet, into Mona, and then into once again the Childe. Notice that the elemental skill cooldown on the Childe come up exactly just in time, because we timed it around the composition well, and so that we're able to enter melee stance again. Finally, we're gonna do a third chain here. Starting with the Venti into Bennet, into Mona, and finishing them off with Childe, clearing this room just under a minute. From the previous showcase just now, you might already have figured out the proper combo for this team composition, but I'm gonna go over it just in case you missed it. So the combo is displayed in the following. You want to start your combo chain with the elemental burst from Venti, followed by the elemental skill from Venti. Now before the energy orb get collected, you want to quickly drop your elemental burst as Bennet and do a swing on your elemental skill. Then you are going to switch to your Mona and drop both your elemental skill and your elemental burst as well. Now notice that in this combo I actually put the elemental skill before the elemental burst, and that's because it's just a bit quicker to get it out that way. There's like an end lag on the elemental skill on Mona, but you can kind of cancel it with the elemental burst from Mona, and the elemental skill from Mona doesn't actually give you the energy until it expires. Moving on, we're actually going to switch to Bennet and Venti here just for the elemental skill because their cooldown will be up already. You want to do this especially if you don't have high energy recharge, because it's very important to use your elemental skill, which will generate more energy. Keep in mind that you try to look for the elemental skill from the Venti E after his ults have ended. So as soon as Venti ult finishes, the mob will drop to the ground, and you want to use your Venti E at that timing to CC them once again. Finally, we're gonna finish off the combo with the elemental burst from Childe. We're gonna use the range form burst here because the range form burst apply the Riptide flow onto all enemy hit, and this is very important because you don't want to be wasting time hitting them one by one to apply the Riptide flow. Instead, you just want to like quickly apply to every single enemy in the area, which is already grouped up by the Venti ultimate. So the elemental burst here is really important in to ensure you use the range form mode. It's also nice because it refunds the 20% energy, and this guarantee that you will get the elemental burst up again in about 5 to 10 seconds-ish. After that, you want to enter your melee stance with your elemental skill, which is your E, and you want to use your charge attack for about 10 to 15 seconds. You can judge the time very easily just by looking at your elemental burst cooldown, since he has an elemental burst cooldown of 15 seconds. So at about either 5 seconds, or I just finished the entire elemental burst cooldown, and then that's when I switched out. You want to be using a charge attack here because the charge attack scale a lot better than the normal attack sequence, and you actually have full stamina because the previous like 6 or 10 seconds you'll be casting all your elemental bursts. You wouldn't be moving, you wouldn't be dashing around in the previous 10 seconds, so your stamina will eventually regenerate to full as soon as you enter the mini stance. So you have all these staminas to use your charge attack here for about 10 seconds. And you can finish up the combo by using the melee stance Childe elemental burst, which will be a really good finisher. It does a lot of damage, and since all the enemy already have Riptide flow onto them, which lasts 18 seconds from the range form, you're guaranteed to hit the the second part of the elemental burst from the Childe elemental burst here. Although usually I don't do this because I want to continue chaining on the elemental burst for the next time, because if you use it here, you enter a 15-second cooldown, but it's alright if, depending on the scenario you're in, if you're like on the last couple mob, then you can just use this as a really high burst finisher. After that, you want to be switching out of your elemental skill out of Childe, and you want to start the cooldown ticking. And so at this point, you want to resume chaining the combo again, starting from the Venti elemental burst. And then following the graph I have displayed here, and go for the combo again. By the time you get to Childe elemental burst again, your E cooldown will actually about to be up, even if you're at 0 constellation. This is without the 20% constellation that C1 provides. You can just do this as constellation 0 Childe. And this is another reason that why this combo works really nice, is because the cooldown on his elemental skill is timed exactly around the combo. One of the reason why this team composition work is because the 4th Ascension Venti talent, the Storm Arc, provide 15 energy to every single member after the Venti ult end if they have contributed into the elemental absorption during the Wind Grand Order. But it's really easy to trigger this elemental absorption, so just regenerate 15 energy to all characters in your party as soon as it ends. The second reason is because both Bennet and Mona have energy regen as a stat when you level them up, so they all get a lot of energy refund as well. For the artifacts, starting off with the Venti, I'm using the Wind set, which is really important, is that it decreases the elemental resistance of the enemy infused in the swerve. You can trigger this during his elemental burst, so just decrease their fire as well as water resistance by 40%. And for the weapon, I'm using the Stringless, providing the elemental mastery, the increase in elemental skill as well as elemental burst damage as well. Moving on to the Bennet, I'm using the energy recharge sword. The primary reason I'm using this is just because of the huge energy recharge you can get from this. Again, it's another enabler of why this team composition work. For the artifact, I'm using the 4-piece scholar set. It's 20 energy recharge for himself. But more importantly, when you gain energy, when you gain energy, you actually refund energy or free energy to all member who have a bow or catalyst, which is actually every single person except Bennet himself, because Venti uses a bow, Mona uses a catalyst, and of course the child uses a bow. For the Mona artifact, I'm using the Noblest set, which increase her elemental burst damage by 20%. And really important, when you use Mona's elemental burst, it increases all party member attack by 20%. This is the reason why you don't want to. I see a lot of people put this on child, and this is the reason why you don't want to put this on child. It's because you can just proc it off your support, who can constantly spam her elemental burst anyway. So you pretty much have this on cooldown as soon as it's available. For the weapon, I'm just using this Whismith since as soon as they take the field, they get a random effect. If I had a energy recharge weapon, I'll probably use that one instead. Or you can use the, not this one, the prototype malice, which you can craft from the smith to again generate even more energy when you use your elemental burst, as well as provide some really healing. And since you'll be spamming your elemental burst, this is going to be a lot of healing over your spam. And finally, your child build is very standard. I've covered this in another video. Just build him like your main DPS build, so I'm not going to cover it here. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I know it's a very long video, so I apologize for it. It's a lot of information. But if you have some of the core member of this team, be sure to try it out. It's a lot of fun and it's really strong. Even if you don't like have one of the 2 members, like Mona for example, and you have Xingqiu, you can try that as well. I know Xingqiu, it worked really well as a replacement for Mona. You just have to time around his Yi and his Q in order to refund the energy properly. I'll be doing more video next week, so I'll have more free time. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys next time.